I still cannot process what happened to my daughter. She was so excited to travel and have a change of scenery. Every single day, she would call me, reassure me, and tell me where she went and what she did. She was so happy, and I was at peace knowing she was doing well. But suddenly, all news from her cut off. I called her once, twice, 10 times, but there was absolutely no answer. At first I thought maybe her phone was dead or she was busy, but my gut feeling was telling me that something was terribly wrong. When we made sure she didn't return by her scheduled date, we notified the police. They started searching for her everywhere. They turned the hotel upside down, questioned the staff and the guests, and even used police dogs, but they found no trace of her. A few days later, they showed us a footage from the hotel's security cameras. I saw my daughter inside the elevator, pressing multiple buttons, stepping out, and looking right and left as if she was terrified of someone or trying to escape from something. I swear, that video hasn't left my mind to this day, and every time I watch it, my questions only grow. Days passed, and every day we clung to any shred of hope that she would return. Then suddenly, the hotel guests started complaining that the taste and smell of the water had changed. They went to inspect the water tanks on top of the hotel roof, and there lay the shock. They found my daughter inside one of the tanks. I collapsed. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. After the investigations, they concluded that the cause of death was drowning, classified the case as an accident, and couldn't prove that anyone else was involved. I was sitting, scrolling through the messages between my daughter and me on my phone, when suddenly I felt that something wasn't right. I began rereading the conversation over and over, and each time, my feeling grew stronger that what happened was no mere coincidence. I stood up quickly and took her phone. I unlocked it, and I was completely shocked. I found a contact named Manar. The first thing that crossed my mind was that she was one of her friends, but my daughter used to tell me about every single person in her life, and I had never heard the name Manar before. I opened the chat, and I was even more shocked. This person was threatening her, telling her that if she didn't pay a certain amount of money, he would do something to me, and the amount was astronomical. I kept reading the messages, and each message was more horrifying than the one before it. A day before the incident, he wrote to her, "If you don't go up to the hotel roof and throw yourself off, I will take your mother's house and leave her living on the street." My daughter didn't reply. An hour later, he sent her a picture of the hotel. When I checked the hotel cameras again, I realized that she went into the elevator trembling, pressing the buttons randomly, and these clips were taken just minutes after that message. On top of all that, he had sent her, "If you don't go to the roof, I will come right to your apartment door." I collapsed. I felt like I was the reason. I sat there crying, thinking about calling the number, but I hesitated. I spent the entire night thinking. Suddenly, I received a message from him. "So you've seen everything?" At that exact moment, I heard someone pounding violently on the door. I froze out of sheer terror. I grabbed my phone and called the police, but suddenly, my phone died and wouldn't turn back on. I ran quickly and grabbed my daughter's phone. I found a new message that said, "If you call the police, the same thing that happened to your phone will happen to your daughter's phone, and after that, I will enter your house, and you won't like what's going to happen." I didn't know what to do. I sat crying and praying to God with all my might to protect me, because I wanted to get justice for my daughter before anything else. Suddenly, I heard the sound of the door breaking down. At that exact moment, I heard the sirens of the police cars. I felt a brief moment of relief, but it was too late. The criminal burst in on me, wearing a mask and holding a sharp weapon. I screamed with all my strength. I closed my eyes, grabbed the first thing in front of me, and threw it at him. I was breathing heavily from pure terror. Suddenly, I heard the bedroom door fly open. It was the police. They tackled him quickly and stripped off the mask, and I was utterly stunned. It turned out to be my ex-husband. At that moment, I felt an indescribable amount of guilt, because my daughter died because of me, because I had married him one day. But despite all the pain, I finally felt a sense of relief, because the criminal who killed my daughter was finally in the hands of justice.